Okay, this video is called Working with Substrings, and I'm going to show you some errors that can happen that don't show up right here. I mean, usually if you type in code, you're going to get a little squiggly line or something, but there are runtime errors. So that's going to be a new word. Runtime errors. And then there's logical errors when you just make a mistake. So there's runtime errors and there's logical errors. So, and the other word we're working with is substring. This is the new word. This is a couple new parameters here. So let's just run this and watch. So there's no errors. You can see there's no errors on this page. No IntelliSense errors. We'll run it. Okay, first notice there's a text box and a button. I just wrote what we're doing. We're working with substrings by grabbing characters. So I'm not going to type anything in here. Let's see what happens. I got an error. It doesn't understand what it's supposed to do because there's nothing typed in. So let's stop that. That's one error. We'll stop it. Now this time I'm going to show you what substrings do. So I already made this little example. We're going to copy it. First of all, to make it easier to understand, notice there's 3 characters. Then there's a dash, another character, a dash, and 4 characters. So let's say you wanted to, I don't know, you made a form in the future and you were collecting information for yourself or some user, and you just wanted the year they were born, or you wanted the day, or you wanted the month, but you didn't want everything, but you still wanted them to type in everything. So let's copy this. So I'll run it. Put this in. Now we'll see if we get it. Now we have characters. Let's see if we get an error. Let's move this over to here. We'll work down this list. So right now we're going to do the first instance of the program. I'm trying to use this correct. I keep having trouble with this word. Algorithm. I don't know. I keep wanting to say algorithm, but algorithm. So the first algorithm, we're going to run this block of text. Let's start again. We're declaring a variable with no name. I mean with a name but no value. Now we're putting the value as it's going to equal whatever we type into here. So now we're down to the first box. And what it's saying is message box show the string, again the string value which we type in this box, dot, this is a method, dot substring, handled within inside these parentheses. It's going to say start at 0 and grab the first 3 characters. Then the second one's going to say skip the first 4 characters and grab the first character. And the next one's going to say, this one we're combining substrings with length. This one's going to say grab the 4 from the right. That's what it's saying, grab the 4 from the right. And this one, I just wanted to see if we could shorten it. So this one I took out toString. And this is going to say grab 5 characters from the right. And this one we put a plus sign instead of a 0, +5. Now I can't scroll down any farther because it'll, let me see, I think if I put it over here, if you scroll, watch this. If you scroll when you're running code, it jumps. So make sure if you're doing this, you're off the page where you can grab it again. So I shortened it to get rid of toString. We'll see what happens. And then I, let's see what I do here. Then I did the plus. No error. Then I got rid of, this time I'm getting rid of substring, but I'm going text box results to length, which we did in the last video, toString, and quotes. And then the last variation is string results out of the text box, not length. I got rid of toString and hello. So we will run this. Let's just leave it there in case I click on the form. This thing's going to keep popping up there no matter what I think. Let's try it. So the first time we grabbed the first three characters. We got January. Second time, we skipped the first 4 characters. The dash is a character. This time we went 4 from the end. And notice it's toString. Now this time we're going to leave out toString and see what happens. And actually I went -5, so without toString it still works. Now the next one. This time we got an error. So it doesn't like this just plus, okay? That's not the way to do this substring method. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to show you something else. So it says this is the next statement that will be executed. To change which statement is executed next, drag the arrow. So I'm going to drag the arrow down to here. Let's see what happens. I'm going to bypass that algorithm. So it ran, but where is it? Again, once you click in here, it doesn't like it. Well, I don't see it. Let's see. Okay, it wants me to rerun. There it is. So, just to explain this, besides the error we had, obviously this one won't work. But as from the last video, we're asking for the length of the characters to a string. And I just wanted to, and then we have this concatenation. But I wanted to point out that these also count as characters. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not sure why it says 10, but anyway, you get the idea. So let's go OK. And then the final one, there must be another one down here. Was this one? So anyway, again we're playing and we're learning. So let's go. Let's stop this. Stop the program. I already know there's a problem with this one, so I'm just going to comment it out. I'm going to run it again. Oops, I should have copied that data in. So let's go back. Which reminds me, there's something else I want to show you. Copy, run, put this in, Just run it through. Should run all the way through without any errors. Okay, so here's another thing I want to show you. All this code is in the button, is in the button event box of code. Let's see if I can do this, get this bigger. If I highlight all this, so I put some code up here. Now this is in the text box. If you put the code in the text box, let's see what happens. I'll uncomment this. Well, you can see there's a bunch of errors. Oh, I know why. Let me fix this. There's no comment. I took the comments out. Those aren't code. Okay, so again, we don't have any errors. Let's run it. Just type some letters in. Doesn't like it. This code does not like to reside inside of the text box code. And again, I'm not an expert at this. I'm learning as we're going, but I assume that it knows this is going to be a problem because we can't push a button to run the code. So it's saying, what am I supposed to do with this? What are you telling me to do? I'm confused. So we'll go back in. We will comment all this out. And now we're going to, well, I guess let's end it here. The problem is if I uncomment this, I'm going to uncomment all my comments also. Now what the heck, let's just do it. So I'm going to uncomment. There's going to be some errors maybe. Oh, at that time it worked. Interesting. That's because I had comments on everything. I think I must have went through manually. Run it one more time. We probably won't have any errors. We'll just create that one error again. Because there's nothing in the text box. Let's see what happens. It doesn't like that. So stop it. So the point of this whole video is where you put your programming matters. We learned how to grab part of information, which is using the substring method. We learned that you can shorten your code. What the ramifications are, we'll have to find out as we keep going. We found out that quotes and white spaces count as characters, and white spaces is where there's nothing. We also showed that when you have a runtime error, you can actually drag it down and run the next instance. And that's it for this one. Have a good one. Let's see, I think this is video 10, by the way.